beautiful people. It's so good to come your way again today. I have been so much anticipating this day, and I'm grateful to God that it's finally here. Mark Zuckerberg said, "It is not what you want to know about people, but rather what people want to tell about their lives." And Joseph Pulitzer says, "There is no crime, there is no vice, there is no trick, there is no dodge, there is no swindle which does not live by secrecy." This should tell you that our topic for today has got something to do with privacy and secrecy. And of course, you're welcome to School of Love, hosted by me, your favorite host, Lavia Ama Sam. Before we move on to the discussion, let's take a look at this music video. We'll be right back.
Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. I've been wondering since the first time you proposed love to me, that how much of me should I share? Do I allow you to my space, that my face when you're tough here with my private life? You think it's unfair? It ain't so cool when you take my phone and scroll through, like looking for the girls in a haystack. I know my comfortable days out and silence on some matters makes you feel so unwanted. But listen, I really wanna tell you all the things I've been through. That is one compromise of my privacy now. So I'm afraid to lose you. You know I am secrets too. My baby, please understand, it is you that I chose. You suffocated me with your doubts and insecurities. I cannot breathe, yeah. We're doing all the line between my privacy and secrecy, yeah. I've got deep cuts, I've got deep scars. One that I stay alone, I don't have the strength to talk about. You have the mental fortitude to assimilate all I would say. I don't wanna lose you. I've got deep scars, I've got deep cuts. One that I stay alone, I don't have the strength to talk about. You have the mental fortitude to assimilate all I would say. I don't wanna lose you. Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do about it. Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. Who about it? Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do. about it. Counselor Boame, why? I'm a bread. Big up.
You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. And again, you're welcome to School of Love, proudly sponsored by Gibson's Multimedia, Helix Sopri, Princess, Ovina Couture, and Glitters by D. Okay, so before we move on to our discussion, I want to give a little background of our guest for today. I have a very wonderful personality seated by me today, and she is so many things in one. She is, first of all, the National Women's Director for FGCI, that's Full Gospel Church International. She is also a member of the National Executive Council for FGCI. She is an executive member of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Churches Women's Wing, Greater Accra Region. She is a marriage and a youth counselor. She holds a master's in guidance and counseling. Married to Reverend James Deborah. She calls him her boyfriend. And blessed with 3 beautiful children, Jesse, Deborah, and Eastwood. Her passion is to see women occupy their place in God and families bonded. My guest for today, ladies and gentlemen, is Lady Gifty Deborah. Welcome, Mommy.
Thank you very much, Lovey.
Your smile is the most beautiful in the world.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you. Finally, I've watched a couple of your videos on Facebook, and I can't believe I'm seated by you today.
Oh.
It's such an honor.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Mine more. Okay, so the very first thing, Mommy, you're so many things in one. I read a very long biography. You're so many things in one. So how do you combine all these things together?
Interesting. Thank you, Lovia, and thank you, our viewers. It's just by grace, because David said, who am I and what is my house, that you, God, you are so mindful of me. We were born in some ghettos many years ago, but God, in His sovereignty and in His beauty, has brought us this far. And He's still taking us on. So we want to thank Him, and I thank Him for my life.
Wow. This is a very good start. I believe we are going to have an amazing time. Our topic for today is secrecy and privacy in relationships. Secrecy and privacy in relationships. This is a very controversial topic. Whenever it's raised anywhere, it brings up various arguments. People have very different opinions. And today, Lady Gifty Deborah is here to share her own views with us. And I believe you're going to have an awesome time and learn very new things. Okay, Mommy, so my very first question, what is secrecy?
Secrecy means different things to many people. A lot of schools of thoughts have deliberated on that topic. So I cannot go for or against, but I will just share what I understand on the topic, and I will leave it to my viewers to choose or reject. Some schools of thoughts propound that it is good to keep an aspect of your life a secret when you are with a partner or your significant one. You don't have to tell them everything, because they may end up using it against you someday or at some point. Some also believe that it is very important to let your significant other know who you are. Be transparent to them so that they would have a greater visibility of your inner self, so that they can judge you for who you are, and they can accept you or reject you. All right. So these are some of the schools of thought. Okay. And looking at what secret is itself is when the one partner holds back an information that will do good to the relationship from the other person. So looking at it from the schools of thought, you can say that when that information is not released, it can harm the relationship or the friendship you both share. And sometimes too, if they are not released earlier, well, you can contain the relationship for a while. But what if the people get to know? We are looking at two diverse things. So secrecy is when your partner or your significant other or beloved decides to hold back an information that would do the relationship a lot of good.
Okay, mommy, so I'm taking note of the a lot of good. We'll come back to that. So my next question is, what then is privacy?
Privacy is when somebody shuts you out of their life at a particular or for a particular period of time. When your partner decides that, okay, within the hours of 2 to 8, I want to be alone. I don't want to take calls from you, for example. I don't want you to invade my space. I just want to be alone. Okay, so privacy is when someone decides to just shut themselves away from the public or from an intruder or from a partner for a period of time. That is what I would say is privacy.
Great. Okay, so let's dwell on the privacy for a while before we go back to the a lot of good in the secrecy.
Yeah.
So since I have agreed to be a person's beloved, I think it is expected of me to share every bit of my life with him. So do I still have the right in a relationship to say that at this time I want to be alone? Don't call me, don't come to my room. Do I still have that right, even when I have decided to share, in quotes, my life with this other person?
I am very happy about this topic we are treating, because sometimes in the relationships of our young people today, we see a lot of overindulgence. All right? You can always not be happy. You can always not want to share your time with somebody. I feel that when you do that overly, you are not real, you're fake. Because there must be that time in a person's life where you go a little into hibernation and process your life, put things together. All right, this relationship, we have been going for 2 years. I need about 2 hours to be alone. I want to process. I want to refuel myself so that I can bounce back and be a better me or a better partner. But we don't see that happening. We are overindulging. You just saw the person off. You come home and you're like, I miss you.
Yeah.
I want to see you again. Where have you gotten to? Please come back, come back. In fact, you're not being real. You're being fake. To me, my understanding, I believe that couples who are courting should be matured with each other. They should go past this childish behavior that if I ask for a little space, it means I'm seeing someone else. No, it is not a reality. We should be able to sit back 1 minute, process, rejuvenate, and come back and face the relationship. head on. But you can't always say that we should always be having fanfare, circus party. No.
Taking pictures,
selfies, going around town, holding hands. They are beautiful, but it can't be always. Otherwise, when do you plan your career? When do you plan when you're getting married? When do you connect the dots so that you can be a better couple?
Great. Now I don't know what else to say. All my questions have been answered already, but I still have to ask something else. Okay, Mommy, let me ask you this thing. I'm going back to the secrecy for now. You mentioned earlier that secrecy is when a partner decides to hold back information that would do the relationship some good. So is it wrong if I keep a secret from my partner? For instance, I did some very bad things in the past, and I feel it is of no importance to the current relationship, whether he knows or not. It adds nor deducts nothing from the relationship or his life, so I wouldn't tell him. Am I justified, or I still have to let him into every single thing, my past, my present, every single thing?
That's a big one. From the start, I was saying we have different schools of thought on this matter. And that has arose as a reason of how some people handled certain informations that were released to them by their significant one. Somebody was told by their beloved that I had 3 abortions before I met you and untoward got married. And when they started to have challenges in the relationship, the man goes, yes, I've always known this will come up because of all the abortions you had. So now here we are. We can't have children. I'm sorry. I can't continue like this. So with such an example, you would see that one school of thought is right, that you don't have to say it if it has nothing to do with your beloved. Okay. But the second school of thought is also saying that if that is not known to your partner, and it happens that, for instance, whilst you were a child, you fell down and broke your back, and you have not told your significant one or your beloved, when you start experiencing that pain in the marriage, what will he know to do? In case you can't talk, you're so much in pain, you can't talk. He just arrived from work and met you in pain, and you can't say anything by word of mouth. What will he know to do? Nothing. You understand? But if they already know that Ajua ever told me she fell and she has a problem with her back, so anytime the weather gets cooler, she could possibly get a relapse, immediately that will occur to him. She told me this one, and he will begin to take the necessary actions as possible. But if he doesn't know, all right? So sometimes we have different people and how we must manage informations that go to them. One side says hold back because it doesn't matter if you don't say it. But the other says give it out. And then the person will be informed about who you are. And earlier on, I said that your inner self have to be in the open so that your partner can judge it, critique it, accept you for who you are, or reject you for who you are. A lady one asked me, Mommy, how many times must I tell guys about who I am before marriage? How many of them would I have told about me before getting married? But from my standpoint right now, I believe that when there is that person whom you are going to live with for the rest of your life, when you see them, you know them. You can tell the one that is heating and running. That is why I encourage my young ladies. I say, look, if there is any better relationship you can have, is that with the Holy Spirit, because He never makes mistakes. When it is coming, you will know. You understand? So you date people that are authentic and genuine. You don't go for any crazy guy who doesn't even know his left from the right and tell them about yourself. But if you are in a serious relationship, a very authentic one, because it's not every relationship that is ending on the rocks, so there are authentic relationships that are going somewhere. I believe that you should come out of yourself and let them know who you are. So tomorrow, probably you dated a cousin of his before, and he doesn't know. At your wedding, he shows up and tells him, oh, Charlie, this girl, it be my chick before. Can you imagine how embarrassed your husband will be? But if they already know, he will say, oh yeah, I know about that already. And you can imagine the embarrassment that guy will carry away. You understand? So I believe that we should open up, talk to one another about our past, no matter how they are. Taking into cognizance the person you're going out with. Okay. In fact, a lot of the young men are wearing pampers. They are babies in themselves. So I believe that you should be very focused and purposeful about whom you're going out with, and know what they can take, and then talk to them about yourself, and they also must talk to you about themselves. It's not about you sharing with them and they don't share with you. No, it's about both of you sitting down and say, let's discuss, who are you? When you tell them, they should also be vulnerable enough to tell you about who they are. All right? Yes. So that you are heading somewhere and you're going to have a better relationship because you know each other. And the trust is also built from there.
Great. I think my questions have been completely changed.
Sorry.
Okay, so mommy, from where you just ended, so much attention needs to be paid to the other person in question. So you can't just get up and say, I'm opening up completely to him because I'm dating him. No. You should also assess his capacity, what he can take and what he can't take.
Sure.
So what has timing got to do in this too? Must you find... are there certain times you can't let certain things out yet? And you mentioned earlier that what if they get to know? Probably we're planning on telling him tomorrow and he gets to know today. So how do you go about the timing and the revealing of your past, probably very dirty past, to your partner?
Timing is very important when it comes to sharing about yourself to your significant other or your beloved. I believe timing is very, very important. Lovia, when a man loves you and trusts you, you don't need Gifty Deborah to tell you as a woman that this person has very high honor and regards for me. it is something that God has placed in us, you will know. And I'm talking to young women who are intelligent and focused in life. I'm not talking about any lady who thinks, this guy is in love with me and is jumping around. No, I'm talking to serious-minded young women that you can tell if this man is taking me somewhere. You can tell. And there are signs that men will show you if you can trust them with certain informations. What does he tell you about his former girlfriend? What does he tell you about his sister? What does he tell you about his colleagues? That will help you to know the person's capacity. If they come and they just have diarrhea of the mouth, telling you, my ex-girl, she was cheap, she was this, she was that, it is not yet time to tell them about yourself. Because what is the guarantee that he won't go telling other friends about you? So that is your timing. If you see that, you'll be able to know that I can trust this person with my information or not. If you ask them about their former girlfriend, a wise and a smart guy will tell you she was a good girl, but I just think we were not meant for each other. When you hear them saying that, you should hear the voice of their spirit, that these people are capable of handling issues.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. So communicate with your partner or your beloved. Just let them know in case they try to push you to reveal your secrets to them. Let them understand that you don't think it is the appropriate time when you don't feel like it. Make them understand. And you, the gentleman or the lady, when your partner tries to make you know that this is not the appropriate time to release it, understand them. Try to understand them. Don't push them beyond and break your relationship. Allow things to flow naturally. Like Delilah trying to force Samson. What is your secret? Let me know. It was not time. And anytime you receive an information that the time is not appropriate for, sometimes you mishandle the information. You may end up selling yourself out even to people you shouldn't sell yourself to. And they, based on that information, they can ruin you or help you. You understand? And most often than not, the ruining in this case is higher than helps. So let's make sure that we communicate our intentions right and also find a good timing to allow such conversations to go on.
Mommy, you've mentioned about trust. So how does trust come in the topic of secrecy and privacy? What has trust got to do with these two?
Where there is secrecy, trust cannot be built. And every relationship that has no trust is like walking on a wobbly bridge or a rotten bridge.
It just collapse.
The slightest move, it can collapse. Imagine you walking on, there's a place in Ghana called Kakum Park, and we have the canopy walk, right? It is very wobbly. Imagine you're walking on something like that without an aid, and there are no rails to it. It is the same as being in a relationship and indulging in deep secrecy. trust cannot be built.
Okay, mommy. So I remember ever having a discussion on a WhatsApp platform, and just as they say, trust is very difficult to build, but then it can slightly, just with the slightest thing, it will just be destroyed. So there's the trust, all right, we are flowing, and then something comes up. Maybe I reveal something to you now, and then this trust can easily be broken by what I have revealed to you. So some people would want to hold back because they think they are walking on a very smooth ground, and what I'm about to release, because I want to be transparent, might just break that trust too. So in that situation, do we go ahead or we keep the things and enjoy the smooth walk we are having?
My question in what you are asking me right now is that what you're going to keep away, what tone will it have on the relationship? That is the first question to ask. If it is going to have a tone on it, for example, the guy is impotent, he knows it, that he's impotent, but he can also see a woman who is solidly in love with him, and he may be afraid to say it. So he would think that, oh, everything is rosy, she loves me, and so when I say it, it will show betrayal to the love that this lady has for me, so I'm not going to say it. Tomorrow, what will happen to the marriage? I'm asking questions and questions. All right? So, no matter what it is, we need to make our beloved aware. If you think that it will be too much for you to release, I believe that every relationship should have chaperones.
Okay.
You can go to that person who you are accountable to for your relationship, because maybe at that point you are not going through counseling. I would have said go to your counselor, but your chaperone also will play an oversight role over your relationship, so you can talk to them. I want to share something with Lovia. Madam, please, would you mind to be the third person that will be there for me to share this with her? At the end of the day, I can't so say, asem no den said den kra obefechirose na waka. You understand? So I believe that no matter what it is, how far the relationship have come, if that thing is going to jeopardize the future and stability of the relationship, I think you should find chaperones who will help you to understand. And here, I want to advise our young people who are going out. Please, don't just go out for the fun of going out with your beloved. Build mastery. Build capacity. When your women talk to you, don't always see it from your personal point of view, the benefit you stand to get. Oh, because it is me, she did it against, so I must blow it out, I must reject her now. No. Look at it from the other side of the coin. If it were me doing that to her, what would I have expected her to do? Would you have expected her to forgive you and just stay with you as you are? So let's build mastery and capacity before considering relationship. When that is there, first and foremost, there is nothing that will come up in the relationship that you will not be able to handle.
Wow, I hope we got that. Okay, mommy, still dwelling on the issue of trust. I've watched a couple of movies where the man could probably hire somebody to try and woo their girlfriends. So the person would appear richer, more prosperous than your partner, and try to woo you. So if you're able to withstand, then your partner will say, okay, I tested you. I wanted to see if you are a virtuous woman and all that. Some of them fail, but in movies, of course, they are always standing and then they come out successful. So I'm just saying that, is it necessary to investigate into the past life of your partner because you want to find things out? Probably she's too good to be true. You want to find things out. You want to dig into her past without her knowledge. You want to ask her friends, go through her phones, do everything to find something out. Is it necessary?
Absolutely not. A guy or a lady who is doing that is insecure in themselves. Walk away from them.
Just like that, as simple as that.
I tell you, walk away from them because whatever they will be in the marriage is what they are in the relationship. And even in the marriage, they will be worse. Okay? So when you see that red flag, take it from me, walk away. Because any man or woman who feels so insecure and wishes to dig and dig and dig, meaning they have not accepted you for who you are. Because when you proposed to me, my past was not behind me, was not standing by me, it was behind me. So if you cannot see anything by my side and you want to go behind and find it without my knowledge, it presupposes that you cannot handle me for who I am. So walk away from such a person. They will only give you nothing but pain. Yes.
Great. Okay, viewers, you are still tuned in to School of Love, proudly brought to you by the Gospel Preachers, the Love Team, to be specific, the Love Team of the Gospel Preachers, and it's sponsored by Gibson's Multimedia. You can call them on 0540 193118, 0540 193118, and Princess is responsible for my makeup. You can reach Princess on 0547 317 And my beautiful outfit is by Ovina Couture. Her number is also 0556 428272. And my beautiful headband, yes, I'm loving it so much. It's by Glitters by D. Her number is 0545 129718, 0545 129718. Also supported by Helix Sopri. Helix Sopri can be reached on 0245 084004, 0245 084004. We are still talking about secrecy and privacy in relationships with my beautiful guest, Lady Gifty Deborah. Mommy, going on, moving forward, we were just talking about phones before the break. Now, do I have the right to go through my partner's phone at all? Be it his gallery, his WhatsApp messages, do I have the right to do that at all?
In a courtship, I don't think so. If we are talking about married people, that is fine. But if you're just simply going out, why would you do that? What are you looking for? What do you want to achieve? So I don't think it is necessary. These are some of the aspects of overindulgence because you're not married to the person. So why would you wish to do that? Even people who are married are not in a hurry to go through their partner's phones. I don't remember the last time I picked my husband's calls for him. No. He will always call the people back when he's ready. So I'm not in a hurry to see who is calling him, who is sending him messages. Sometimes you stress yourself. Yeah.
Okay. And I was doing some readings on secrecy and privacy, and I came across something very interesting. It said that secrecy or secrets are mostly kept because whenever they are revealed, a third or a second or a third person is hurt. It's not just about the keeper of the secrets. Their coming out would affect other people, and so the keepers would keep them even till their graves, because if for nothing at all, they don't want to hurt the other people involved. And for instance, if I watched a movie, the lady was an assassin in her past. She had killed a lot of people, and now she's married. She has a kid. Her husband doesn't know anything about her past. So she feels that if her husband gets to know this, and her child too, they would be very hurt. She wouldn't be hurt that she was an assassin, but they would be hurt. So for their sake, to prevent them from being hurt, she would keep that. So is such a scenario also justified, that you are keeping it to avoid hurting the people you are with now? Are you justified?
Lovia, this world is a beautiful place. It is sad when people make simple things very complicated. From the scenario you just narrated, I can tell you that she would hurt them with or without telling them. Why? Because she always will carry that burden and guilt. So she cannot be the best of herself to the husband and children. She's always looking back over her shoulder. Who is talking to my husband? Who is talking to my children? When she's walking in town with them, would anybody notice me from my past? What if someone bumps into us? You can imagine the volume of questioning that is going on in her mind, even when she's lying beside the husband. So, no matter how we look at it, you are still hurting certain people, because they would now suffer for not having the best of you, because mom is always stressed with her past. So if you share it, today they know the kind of mother and wife they have. They know that she is not a murderer. They know that she is not evil. So they can understand that probably something in the past caused you to behave in that way. Today, you are no longer who you used to be yesterday. So they put that side by side and they can make judgments for themselves. But hey, Lovia, even if they reject you for being open, you are better off.
Okay.
There was a case where a guy did something at his workplace, and the matter was in the courts. He only needed to speak a simple truth. That truth would affect his job forever. He did everything to cover up. I walked up to him and say, hey, speak the truth. When he came to see me, I said, speak the truth. It will cost you your job, 25 years of experience in an established institution I cannot mention in this forum. He was let go. His job cost him, they asked him to step down from his position. Later, he was fired. 25 years of working in such an establishment. He went away with not even one Ghana cedis. After a while, I made sure I got interested in this young man until he went to the Bible school and everything. Today, he lives outside the country. He's making it bigger than he used to have. If I mention the institution, you will know that he was earning much there. But today, he is better off and he's at peace with himself. He can sleep, he can enjoy his wife and kids because he's not looking over his shoulder, who is coming after me. So sometimes you may think that when we let loose of it, it may affect certain people. But for all you may know, it will do you a lot of good if you opened up.
Right, great. I think we are almost coming to the end of our discussion. All of my questions have been answered. Now I'm even asking things I didn't plan to ask. Wow. Okay, so how do you strike a perfect balance between being private and being secretive? Secrecy, as you've made us understand earlier, is really holding back such that you don't even plan. Yes. And privacy could be only for a short period of time. You want space and time to yourself. So how do you strike a perfect balance between the two such that when you want to be private, it's not misunderstood as you being secretive or you're doing something evil in your privacy? How do you balance the two?
You just need to communicate, love, yeah. You just need to communicate it. This is what it is. I want to have some time to myself. And your man or your lady should be able to understand it and know that it is not for evil, but it's for the general good of the relationship. When it is a secret you are keeping away, have timelines, observe, and say what you need to say to your significant other so that it will not take too long for them to discover it by themselves. So it's all about communication. Be guided. Yeah.
Great. You're still tuned into School of Love. And let me keep you in suspense here. Let's go for our second music video. You'll so much enjoy it. Please do stick and stay. We'll be right back.
You don't know ragamuffin boss man space man GP factor the building up. We have to talk about the love of
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. You've shown me. When I was lost, you found me. What an amazing love I see. Jesus Christ, your love is so real. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. The love of Christ and your kitty kitty. Hey, a deep fat, bobolo biggie biggie. And te wo moi, who feely. And your fake share, now you feely. Need don't know nyai mo. Senya etisana etie. They don't know how to totally. Each and every day, my many. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing. Your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Me say Unconditional sweet sense of love me say. Jesus Christ love keep record no wrong. Father God love is the best, is the best ever love you can find. His love is so sweet and His love is so nice. His love is better than the love of men. Boyfriend me love me say girlfriend me love. But enough of them can never die for you. What manner of love Father bestow upon us? Does someone like me and me son of God? Me used to be in darkness, my friend bring me to the light. Once I was blind, but now I see. Yeah.
Your love is amazing, your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing, your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing, your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling. Your love is amazing, your love is attractive. It makes my heart go ting-a-ling-a-ling.
All right, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that music so much. We are getting to the end of our discussions all too soon. But mommy, before we go, now we've been talking about sharing, revealing. So how do the other half also receive and contain the secret that is revealed to them? How do they handle the information that is revealed to them?
It takes courage for someone to share their secret with you. I believe that whosoever can be vulnerable and let go of something that pertains to them, to you, you should count yourself one blessed, and you should also have very high regards for that person. Because if they did not trust you, they won't tell you. And if they were not courageous, they won't let go of something regarding their past. So if you are the recipient of that information, don't go thinking that because you are better than that person, that is why they are talking to you. But it's rather because they are stronger. That is why they are able to let go of something that concerns their past to you. And you knowing that they are stronger than you have to, take all that information in and keep it. Guard it with all diligence. There should be no time that you will go telling another person about this information given you by your beloved. And you should not, on any account, use that information against your beloved. Don't even make fun out of it. Okay. It is not something to play with, because it is something that happened in their past and they confided in you with it. So don't even make a joke out of it. No matter what relationship you and your beloved have, don't ever make a joke out of their past. And don't also tell anybody. Don't use it against them also.
Yes, I asked this because...
Is that okay?
Very okay. I ask this because most of the times the receivers think they are better off than the person, the revealer, because they think, oh, you have done this, I have never done this in my life, so I am more spiritual or more religious than you. And they may just use that against you. Directly or indirectly, they tend to look down on you, feeling they are more moral or more upright than you are. But I believe this has really informed us, and we are changing.
You see, Lovia, my husband told me something when we started courting. He told me, he said, Gifty, when you have never worked in Nestle, don't point fingers at those who work at Nestle as thieves. If you ever work in Nestle and you have all the chocomilo in front of you, and the needle in front of you, and you don't put any in your mouth, then you can come back and say that you are better off those who work in Nestle. All right. So if your partner committed something in the past that is barbaric or shameful, and they talk to you about it, and you have never done that before, just only do a sign of the cross and say, God, thank you for the life of my partner, because they have been there and they have come out of it. You have never been there. Probably if you had gone there, you would have remained. But they have gone there and they have now seen that where I went was not right. So I am coming out of that. And they've come out of it. And today you found a fine lady or a fine gentleman. In fact, some people, when they tell you about their past and you look at their present, you can't believe it. But they have come out of it. They are now a better version of themselves. Maybe if it were you, you would have remained in it and today your life would have been ruined. Do you understand? So never look down upon anyone that has the strength and the fortitude to tell you about themselves. Know that they highly value you. That's why they told you. And if anybody values you and tells you about themselves and you go telling people, then that means the value they placed on you, you are not worth it. So you are telling them that you are not competent.
Okay. So in essence, it is not even about them anymore. It becomes about you now and how you're able to handle what they tell you.
Yeah, because it is their life. It is my life. So whatever you feel about it, it's your problem.
Okay. Wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I hope so much that we are making notes and we are taking this with us. All her submissions are amazing. I am actually hearing things that I had never thought of. The example of Delilah and Samson. This is a story we all know right from Sunday school, but we never thought of it as something that is applicable to our relationships. Mommy, we are almost done. It's so sad, but we're almost done. But before we go, your very final remarks. But before I come to that, while you're planning that, I want to ask about Reverend James Deborah. I'm very interested in that side too. When I was reading your intro, there were so many things, and you're happily married. I was watching your video at work, and a colleague saw you. He was like, I saw for more nice women, I saw for you be a home. I'm like, of course, what do you expect? So how was it like being married to a man of God? How was the whole experience? You're a mother of 3. How was everything like?
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Reverend James, I call him James, okay. So marrying to James is like a whole world opened up to me. Coming up, growing up, I have never prayed for a partner before. So marrying to James is like a gift God gave to me on a silver platter. Wow. You know, and he's such a wonderful man. James will never let you go when there is anything to be discussed. No, he won't do that. You need to talk about it. So you deal with issues when they have to be dealt with. And he empowers me to feel that I can take the world. He says our relationship is like a parliamentarian's relationship. You speak your mind, I speak my mind. Nobody is wrong. All we have to do is to fuse it together and implement. That is his life. So all our counsellors who come through our hands knows that the Deborah's home is a parliament house. Everybody speaks their mind, okay? And this man have brought me from nowhere to somewhere. I met him as a pastor, and him and I went out to do missions together across the world on mercy ships. When we got there, I was accepted and James was not accepted. But he didn't feel insecure about it. He said, if you have to go, go. I said, no way.
I'm not leaving without you.
And we finally got to go together. We came back, relocated to the UK, and came back home. He wanted to do first degree desperately. So for me, I was coming back home with my baby just to partner him and everything. And he calls me and tell me, when I pass on today, how will you take care of our children? And I said, don't go there. He said, no. By the time I realized, he came home with forms in his hands. I was on my way to doing my first degree. After my first one, then my second degree. And all these was sponsored by this man, my husband. James is that person who wishes that I get everything he gets in this life. And he will go every extent to push me. Even this morning, he brought me here, made sure I was comfortable, though he had a pressing program. James is a very honorable man. When I think of him, he looks out for my good. He wants the best for me. He's a man that believes even when my finger would ache, his rather should ache. This is no flatter or sweet talk. It's just our life. That he looks out for my best every time, anytime. And I feel very, very blessed to have him and very fortunate among women.
We all too soon we have to bring our discussion to a close, but before we go, we'd have to take Mommy's very final remarks. Mommy, your very last words. We've been talking about secrecy and privacy, and we've spoken about Reverend James Deborah too. Yeah, your very final words before we go.
Couples who are seeing each other and preparing to get married should live in complete transparency, considering the timings and communication lines very well. When your partner talks to you about their past, don't use that as a jealous chip to monitor them, that because they told me they did this in the past, they are capable of doing that in the future. Rather see it to be that you will accept them for who they are and love them and give them every necessary help you can give them to become a better version of themselves. For all you may know, that which they told you about their past is gone. They are better people today. So let's look at the parameters well, so that we will not throw away a beautiful relationship on the grounds of judgment, and
past histories,
etc. Because you can have a beautiful relationship, but the way you handle informations can ruin or better the relationship. So we need to mature in ourselves and build capacity to know that as far as we have decided to go out with this person, he or she is our God-given, and God is relying on us to help them become their best.
Wow, this is amazing. Okay, viewers, I believe this has been an amazing time and we've learned a thing or two, and I believe we are making decisions and we are letting go of some perceptions and we are changing for the better. God bless you so much, Mommy, for making time to talk to us. But before we go, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors. Gitson's Multimedia. Princess is responsible for my makeup, and Ovina Couture for my outfit, Glitters by D for my headband, and Helix Sopri, she's also sponsoring us with some of her products. And you can call, I mentioned earlier that this is an initiative of the Gospel Preachers. If you want to get interactive with the Gospel Preachers, you can call us on 0540-195594, 0540-195594. You can get interactive on Instagram. It's gospel_preachers 5000 on Instagram. And you can also email us at gospelpreachers5000@gmail.com. Get interactive. Let us hear your opinions and your comments. And kindly like and subscribe to our YouTube page. You share the link to your friends and family. Let them also watch this. Before we go, we have a little presentation to do. We have some items from our very proud sponsors. I mentioned earlier that my headband is from Glitters by D. We have these beautiful ones for Mommy, for Lady Gifty Deborah. So Mommy, Glitters by D says you should have these too. I've seen your pictures. I know you like to look very good. So these headbands would enhance your outfits the more. And we have this toilet bowl cleaner and floor cleaner from Helix Sopri. Ketsi Helix Sopri. She also says we should let you have these to keep the room very clean for Reverend James, Deborah, and the children. So on behalf of the entire Gospel Preachers crew, on behalf of my viewers, I know they can't say a proper thank you to you. We'd like to say thank you for receiving us in your office, making time with us, and your smiles, as I said earlier, they are the most beautiful. Thank you so much for accepting us into your space. Viewers, this has been an amazing time, but all too soon we have to go. I look forward to coming your way soon, very soon. Kindly like, subscribe, and share the link to your friend and families. Tell them that School of Love is ongoing and that they should watch. School of Love, they say it's always lovely, especially with me, your host, Lavia Amasam. So till we come your way again next time, please do stay safe. As I always say, stay safe, pray more, eat healthily. To my producer, Jonathan, thank you so much for making this possible. To my camera guys, they are amazing. To our secretary, to all of our sponsors, we say God bless you for believing in us and for sponsoring us. So we come your way again next time. I say, for Mommy and I, we say we love you. God bless you.
Privacy and secrecy in my relationship. I don't know what to do.